What is up, everyone? We are back at you for another Saturday episode. We got Picksburgh and myself in the house.
And you know this, man.
Appreciate everyone coming and hanging out. We got Swan Picker. What up, Glenn? Good to see you. He said he is first. We got Paul Gate City Picker. What up, man? Good to see you.
What's up, Paul?
We got Blaine Sports Cards. What up? Good to see you. We got Frank in the house. What up? Good to see you, man. Hope all's well.
Stoking D fire.
We got Steven. What's up, man? Good to see you.
Man?
Hope you're doing well. So what is going on in the sports market? What have you been up to, Pittsburgh? I know you've been doing some different grading and different things.
Dude, I've literally been in a sweatshop like the past couple of days because it's like I've been trying to do all kinds of different submissions. Like I literally had this GMA submission completely done, ready to ship. Like it was packed. All I needed to do is print a label. And like I'd spent hours upon hours pre-grading it, prepping it, you know what I mean, doing spreadsheets, making sure everybody was lined up and blah, blah, blah. And then literally as I'm getting ready to go downstairs and, get the thing ready to ship, I noticed in a Facebook group that I get tagged by Grunt Dad, and he's letting me know that they raised their prices. And I'm just like, oh, are you serious? Because since the last time I sent them a submission, they'd raised their prices. So, you know what I mean? From looking into it, though, it looks like instead of raising the prices, they just suspended their lowest level of service, which was that $8 level. Apparently that's just suspended. I was under the assumption that they just raised the prices, but from what I understand, they just kind of did away with that service level, kind of like PSA did away with pretty much everything except for Super Express. So they're not quite to that point yet. But I mean, dude, it's nuts, man. The fact that, a company that nothing against GMA. I love GMA, especially with the new changes they're doing with the slabs and stuff. But man, for a company that you have to actually write pen and paper by hand every single card, you know what I mean? You think that they wouldn't have, leapfrogged a CSG, for example, because
Right.
Even though they're brand new to the sports card market, it's already kind of looking like their slabs are a little bit more valuable than GMA, and they're offering a better turnaround time and a lower price right now. They are literally the lowest price value option. And I'm basically giving away my video for this upcoming week, but they're basically the lowest price value option on the market right now. And if they become adopted by a lot of people over these next few months, they could become a player because they are basically the PSA of the comic book world already. So, I pretty much am going to say in my video next couple of days. I mean, this is basically making a rerun, but essentially, this is I think they're going to be a major play for value going forward. You know what I mean? They may even jump their prices. I wouldn't be surprised if Monday morning, them and Beckett both jump prices, because as of right now, those are my pretty much plays. As far as wait until PSA opens back up, because I'm not paying $300 because I don't really have any cards right now that I would grade that would be worth paying $300 to grade. Most of the stuff that I've been sending to grade, lately, all my heat is already at PSA through Nate. You know what I mean? I've been sending waves and waves and waves of cards every month to PSA, you know what I mean? Religiously. So, you know what I mean? All my major heats are already at PSA. So most of the stuff I'm sending in is just value stuff to kind of flip, stuff that I've ripped or found in bargain bins and stuff like that. So for the most part, I'm just kind of trying to get in, on the low.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like to me every time PSA raises their price or does any type of thing, where they, now they shut off all submissions except for Super Express and up. It seems like the other companies seem like they feel like, okay, well then I can charge more than PSA, or I can, look at SGC. You told me it was $75 a card.
Yep.
I just don't understand. These companies are doing the opposite versus what they should be doing is being happy, getting a nice chunk of the market, and and getting a lot of people sending like new customers. Like I was ready to send stuff to SGC, but now that the price is basically almost, you know, 3 times the amount overnight, I mean, it almost makes it very hard. And not only that, like you have to be super picky picking out cards to send for that much money. I mean, you're getting your cards back in 2 weeks, which I mean that's faster than almost any PSA you know, submission type except for like Super Express or walkthrough. But I mean, you're paying super money on that, you know. What's up, Greg? Good to see you. He says, who you talking about? Which grader is better than GMA? I missed it. CSG.
CSG, yeah, they're the CGC grading's like sister company. They do all the sports cards for the company that's famous for comics and everything like that. You know, so like I said, they're brand new to sports cards, so really they don't have much of a track record. Like as far as like sold comps and stuff, there's not a whole lot really on the market yet, but really they've only been doing sports cards for a couple months now. So, you know, they're still brand spanking new as far as, you know, even receiving stuff. Like they were so new that I didn't even realize I had to go to a different website to put in sports cards. You know what I mean? Because like you could put Pokemon and like TCG stuff right on their comic website.
Oh, yeah, really? So they even have like a whole separate like website, the whole 9 yards compared to the regular one.
Yep. Yeah, I'm literally like looking like such a derp like on one of my live streams it might have been like Monday or whatever day all this happened. I'm over there trying to submit an order, and I was like, why can't I figure anything out? All I see is Pokemon and Magic. It doesn't give me any sports or anything. And Marty texts me, he goes, you realize you're on the wrong website, right? I was like, no, I didn't. I had no idea. So I literally just looked up CGC trading cards, which like they have a division of that as well, but that's mainly just for like gaming cards. And they do that through the, you know, comic side of things. Mama's in the house. Really?
What up, Mama? Good to see you. Paul said he went to a show today. I took on a mission to find an HGA or a CSG card. Found only one CSG card, and it was a $20 Pokemon. You don't see a lot of other cards at some of these shows, and you know, whenever we go to shows and things like that, I mostly only see, for the most part, Beckett and PSA, and you know, that's kind of like what we're talking about a couple weeks ago. We went to Anthony went to a show, and we went together, and like some of these vendors, they won't even trade for, you know, some of these other companies. So it's almost like these vendors are just like, you know, kind of stuck in their way. They're happy with the value. They've been using the same company for years. They know the grading, you know, how to look the cards, how they grade. So it's almost like a lot of these different people almost like, you know, are just super stuck in their ways, and that's just all they use. It's almost like me. Like I'm so headstrong on PSA, but now, I mean, I don't even know what to do. Like I was like, me and Anthony text back and forth, and Paul, and I told them guys, I don't even know if I would even grade anything right now with the current state of the market, and you know, with how the prices are on certain things. But I mean, like you said with CSG, with them having some, you know, having the rep they have in the non-sports cards, it almost gives them a little bit of a leg up value wise, and you know, they're a little more reputable of a company. So, you know, using them for some of the lower end stuff, and maybe even maybe a little higher stuff, depending on what the value of, you know, depending on what stuff goes for, you might be better off right now with everything going on.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely be much quicker than Beckett, unless you're willing to pay for like Express or something like that. Because, you know, I just submitted an order to Beckett the other day, and literally, like, I had one card I wanted to send because, like I said, most of my major heat is a PSA through you. So I wanted to get that MPJ auto I just picked up at the card show, like, submitted for grading. So I sent that sucker in before they had a chance to jump on me, because I'm not going to be surprised if they jump. Like, is Beckett really going to sit there and be like, really, SGC costs more than us? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't see like Dr. James Beckett sitting there and like really just taking that one on the chin. Like, we're like a value company right now compared to SGC. Like, that just makes, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like, I don't know the dude personally, but like, I just know that Beckett is a prestigious company. You know what I mean? So much so that like they probably still feel like they are the king of the, you know, sports card market, even though like most of us know, and like eBay comps will tell you PSA is the king, but you know what I mean? Like I find just like it's probably a little bruising to the ego to see this, you know what I mean? Because I can imagine that there's probably a ton of people dumping stuff over to them now too, especially now that SGC is not really a play.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
because
I mean,
I would have kept going to SGC over Beckett only because like there's not that big of a discrepancy between their 10 and the BGS 9.5. You know what I mean? So with that being the case, like for $10 cheaper per card, I would have just kept going to SGC. But with the way it is now, like $35 is literally like the cheapest you can get like a good like quality slab, meaning like your Beckett's or even like your HGA. And even getting into HGA, like you literally have a better chance of like going and buying a scratcher and like hitting on that than you do getting in for that. Because I've literally been trying to get in for 1 month and I can't even get one card into them. It's insane. And it's actually gotten worse since, you know, since PSA went down and SGC raised their prices, because now there's like way more people saying, okay, well, they're getting like pretty close to top dollar on the market right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would rather send cards to Beckett if they're the same price. I'd rather have a Beckett slab, just because the UV stuff with the protection with the slab, the way the slab is, and also me and Pittsburgh were just looking before the show. I was asking some questions with Beckett because I've never said anything to Beckett. Their pricing on dual autos and stuff like that is basically the same price. They only charge $2 for grading the auto, and that's huge because
too.
Yeah, if I was sending in something to PSA before the shutdown, like total shutdown or whatever, it was $100 for a dual grade on the card and the auto. So for Beckett to have them, you know, $35, no wonder I see a lot of autos and different things sent on the Beckett. And then if you get a pristine with the subgrades, I mean that's huge money. You know, huge money. You know what I mean? So yeah, Beckett, I think you can make a play here, guys. You know, I think that's where I'm probably going to send some different autos and a few different cards that I just haven't sent in because either time or just didn't do it, and you know, move forward. Because I mean, I'm not paying $75 for SUC. I really don't want to wait till PSA reopens. I mean, that's, you know, 3-4 months from now. That's a long time to, you know, hold on the cards that, you know, you're hoping to get back, you know, maybe 5 months after that. But now you add, you know, 9 months after that. So I mean, you're looking at 13 months probably to get cards back. So it's just crazy. Paul said he said he knows a bump in GMA cards available for sale to show. I'm sure there's a lot more people, you know, having to go different routes now. I mean, you know, like Anthony sends a lot of cards to get graded, and like he said, he wants to get that steady flow of cards and just where it's just like every month or every couple of weeks or whatever, he's getting fresh inventory, fresh slabs in to sell, keep, whatever. And I'm sure a lot of these other people that, you know, usually send stuff in the back PSA or whatever are like, man, I can't even send anything in. That's going to totally screw up the flow of like cash and slabs I got coming in. And now, you know, they're having to go to these other companies. So I'm sure GMA and CSG and, you know, a couple of these other companies, you'll start to see more and more of their slabs moving on. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Paul says he really don't think Beckett cares what anyone says. Anyone else does. They feel like they're a top dog. Nothing else would change their mind. I mean, they are always, you know, one of the top or the top. You know, I won't say the top, but you know, PSA's I would say the top. Yeah, especially value wise. But you know, they're up there. You know what I mean? Greg, I'm sorry, but actual sellers know SGC newer cards not sell as well, even close to BGS. Just stop, brother. That's what. Well, they're about the same, man. They're about the same.
Share my screen real quick because like it's very parallel. In fact, like the 10, it's so much easier to get a 10 with SGC than it is BGS too. But here I hit the wrong button. Let me share my screen. Share. So I'm going to go into market movers and just literally track like a SGC 10 and a BGS 9.5, which like literally like this is basically gem mint for both company. You know what I mean? Like each company, like SGC has the gold label, BGS has the black label. In my opinion, like if I had the choice of a 10, BGS is the company you want the 10 from. But as far as like a 10 from here, basically equaling a 9.5 here, like you can even see just from market movers, like they're pretty close. Like the 10 from SGC is oftentimes a little bit higher just because it's a 10. Like the 9.5 obviously would be less, but 10s aren't super difficult to pull from SGC like they are from BGS, at least from like my experience sending to them. Like the few times I've sent in, like it's been like reasonably easy to pull 10s on stuff.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, with PSA out the game, if you're going to grade cards or have stuff sent in, I mean, you have to basically go with other these companies. And I personally, I'm pro PSA, through and through. You know what I mean? But you can't really. I mean, depending on your situation, if you're a collector or if you're do both or whatever, you want to have cards just keep coming in and going out. You know what I mean? So in terms of just like right now, I've been holding for the past like almost a month trying to figure out the market, see what my best move is, and now I can't even say anything to PSA. So I mean, you have to move on to a different company unless you're going to literally hold till July, and then think of that stockpile. People just basically sitting back and just prepping cards, just buying cards, and then if that's how they are, they want to send it straight to PSA again. You know what I mean? Like that logjam is going to be insane. You know what I mean? Unless like if Beckett can literally keep their prices the same and their turnaround isn't too bad comparable to PSA, you might see people jumping on BGS a little more than usual because now they're used to the service. They see kind of how they're grading and different things like that. I mean, personally, if I had any like older tops like the Kobe, silvers and the rookie years and stuff like that from back and then, I'd want it in one of those in one of those BGSs because of the UV. I mean, that's a very valuable thing to have in this card because you don't have to worry about the yellowing and any issues like that. And the slabs are super solid too. So, it's just it's some I mean, I could see what I could see what he was saying and stuff like that with with different things, but like value wise, I mean, honestly, it's pretty similar, BGS and SGC. You know what I mean? A lot of it sometimes is just like, preference, like to a person who likes what. I mean, everyone's going to be a little bit different. Of course, like the people that have been in this game for years and years, like vendors and different people, they're going to prefer BGS over SGC. But for a lot of people, I would say for the average, buyer, they're probably looking at one and the other is like pretty close or exactly the same right now. I
mean, from like a flipping perspective is kind of like where I'm coming from as far as like the SGC BGS thing. Like from a collectible perspective, like as a collector, I like the black tuxedo slab, but in my opinion, by far the best slab on the market is Beckett. You know what I mean? So like as a collector, like if I needed to have a slab to protect, like for example, my LeBron James rookie card, like I have that in a Beckett slab. You know what I mean? As somebody who would want to one day sell that, would be better off in a PSA slab? Absolutely. Unless we have some kind of reversal in the market. I mean, who knows? Beckett could, emerge from this as the triumphant champion to save the grading market. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, God bless them. I hope they do. You know what I mean? Like I said, I think they make the best quality slab, like bar none. I don't think that there's another company that's even close to like the quality that Beckett puts into their stuff. Definitely. But yeah, I mean, I just don't think anyone's touching PSA, unless there's some like major, spurt that Beckett gets over these next 3 months of PSA shut down.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like with PSA shut down, this is their chance, like to really grab a solid market share. I mean, they have what 3, almost 4 months of not being able to have any cards sent in except for Super Express. So, this is their shot. That's why I was so shocked that SGC did that, man. They literally shot themselves in the foot unless they saw it as, okay, we're going to get a wave of some cards and we offer this super fast turnaround. We're going to charge like it almost like where it was basically they're charging for the same as PSA Express before the recent uptake. So, Greg says, "Have you gotten to send any cards to HGA yet? Have been trying for 2 months. I haven't, but I know Pittsburgh, I believe.
I've been trying
to.
like the Dickens, but I'm not getting through. You know what I mean? I'm one of those thousands of people that like hit it every week and like nothing happens. I was in there last night. I think I was like 52, 63 or something like that. I had like zero shot at getting cards in.
But appreciate that, Greg. He says he's a fan of both of ours. We appreciate that,
man. Good looking out.
Paul said, "I bet PSA will implement a 40 to 50 minimum cost and will do something like HGA, only let people without memberships send a limited amount." They might make it where you have to have memberships to send anything. I mean, they might go that type of route. You know what I mean? To make more, to get more money in the door. Like the one thing I did like that they did without before they made the shutdown of the submissions, they gave me an extension on my membership, which
that's cool.
I didn't expect that, and then I read that with the letter or the email they sent me saying what they're doing and everything like that. So basically, I'm back at like almost a year left in my membership with PSA, but yeah, I'm sure they're going to be doing something similar to that, Paul. I would guess, especially now that everything's the way it is with everything, with the backlog and everything and having the shutdown. A price increase is probably most definitely going to be swinging that way for sure.
Hey, Greg.
We got Swamp Picker and Landshark Picker in the house. Appreciate you guys. How you doing? Hope you're having a good Saturday night.
Pickers. And the Gate City Picker. Just like everybody be picking up in here.
So what have you been trying to target some different players moving into, as we get closer into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, the one guy I've been like picking up a lot of lately has been MPJ. He's a guy I really believe in. I've been trying to get a little bit more of Tatum and Jaylen Brown and guys like that. Just some of the younger guys that are kind of established, but like not like really made that next like step into superstardom yet. But like they look like they're basically locks to hit that superstardom.
Yeah,
those are kind of guys I've been looking after.
Yeah, I'm trying to find some different guys that potential to have better seasons or maybe playoff runs where I'm able to make more money. And what up, Freddie? Good to see you, man. Blue Husky in the house. Appreciate you. I picked up a Michael Porter a couple weeks ago. What else? I ordered something else. I can't remember what it was. I just been picking up different pieces that I don't mind getting back in a year or whatever. Like I picked up a Beam Team Scotty Pippen just because I'm a big Bulls fan and things like that from back in the day. So I picked up one of those and just kind of looking at different pieces that I seen a PSA 9 Michael Jordan. It wasn't his rookie. It was his 88 flare or 87, 88 flare. And it was down. So I'm trying to look at different things like that where, the market's finally dipped down, from where it was or getting less love than what it was.
Dude, even the 86 flare is getting less love right now, bro. Like the last golden auction, I believe, I don't know the exact numbers, but it was close to half the value that a PSA 9 went for. Like literally just like a month later. Like went for like half the amount. I think it was like 70 something. They ended up selling for like 30 something the next auction. So I mean, I think that's like everything's going to level out, but like anything like that Jordan level, I think is going to continue to go crazy.
Landshark Picker says Beam Team. I remember when they were released 30 years or so ago. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yep.
Yeah, 90, 91, 92. Yeah. That was Shaq's rookie year. That's why that card is getting so much love. His Beam Team is getting so much love because that's his rookie. So that's one card that I'm hoping to one day acquire. I've always been a big Shaq fan and different them type of guys. So it's one of the cards I'm going to be hunting for. Hopefully, find at auction. Just like I finally got my Crusoe auto. It took me a little while, but I found one for a decent price. So happy to have that in my collection.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just so market, man. It's companies are trying to take a lot of the money.
I think we might have lost Nate, guys.
Potentially.
So I think he's back. He's gone again. All right. So while he looks like a frozen caveman, he's back. Am I freezing or are you freezing?
They're upcharging us, so I'm looking at more great. I'm back. Oh. Did boot you too?
I don't know. I didn't know if I was freezing or you were freezing.
Oh no, I think with the kids all online, I think they kill my internet. I tried to run a wire that there was a couple holes in the flooring or whatever from my upstairs, and I was trying to run the wire, and it just the cable, the Ethernet cable is just not big enough, so I literally have to drill a bigger hole so I can fish the line down here, so I can't, won't have the internet keep dropping on me anymore.
Yeah. Mama
said his beard is clogging the airwaves.
I wouldn't be surprised.
What was the last thing you heard me say?
You were choppy for a long time, so I didn't know if it was me or you though. So like I was just kind of letting you go, and then I was like, okay, this is weird if it's him, and I'm just kind of staring at him. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm just gonna refresh.
Yeah, I gotta fish the line down here, so this way I can just be plugged into the router. But that won't happen until maybe tomorrow, whenever before the auction, I'll be able to set that up or whatever. But I think I was talking about just like basically my strategy, like with getting certain cards, certain players and stuff. But I think I'll be definitely buying more graded, on the eBay versus raw, which is bypass the whole grading process, know what you're getting for sure. And now I have instant liquid pieces, especially for the playoff run moving forward.
Yep. I mean, really, you could still do the exact same thing, like as far as investments go. Like the only issue is the ROI is going to be considerably different. You know what I mean? Like, say, like even like you're picking stuff up leading up to a season. You know what I mean? Like, or as the off season approaches, you just start buying stuff as prices start to go down. You're going to eventually, like, once the season starts back up, you're going to see them tick right back up. So as long as you have like the money available to kind of just stash the stuff, like you could very easily make 20 to 40% like off of the swing, like in off seasons, or player that's hurt like insignificantly coming back in a few weeks, picking up some of their stuff, while their kind of stock is at its lowest type stuff. But I mean, those are also the risks. You know what I mean? Like, for me, like the thing that was so appealing about grading was that I could literally just get the cards at like bargain basement prices and send them in and literally get a card back that's worth like 10 times more than the card I sent. So that's the thing that's going to suck with buying graded to sell graded. Now you'll still have those jumps, you know what I mean? Like we've seen like astronomical jumps for people this year, like the goats and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So like you'll still have the opportunity to buy into people and catch those big waves, but it's just not going to be like the same, like consistent chunky profits that you would essentially make buying, something raw and grading, especially older cards. Like if you can get a 10 on an older card, like that is significantly more valuable than like getting a 10 on like a, Prism from this year or last year or something like that. You know what I mean? Like the value just exponentially grows even at a 9.
Oh, definitely, man. What do you think about some of these prices on some of these rookies from this year's Prism. I seen LaMelo Ball raw cards going for like $1,200, like his orange ice and stuff like that. And I was looking at buying some retail. Which, by the way, if anybody has retail Prism, I'd have no problem with you making some money. But send some this way. I want to buy some, but not at $120 a piece or $150 a piece or whatever the price was. I know they dropped a little bit. They were super crazy for like $150 a piece. I think they went down to $120 or something. But man, like the prices were higher than I thought they would be. I don't remember them going that crazy last year with Zion and everything, was it?
I don't know. I mean, because the big craze, like Prism had already been released before that kind of happened. You know what I mean? So I don't know that it was really like the same type of thing last year.
Spider Zach, what up? Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, I mean, I remember like, Mosaic going for, 80s or so or something like that. But I mean, 150 for a blaster. Wow. I mean, and the rookie class isn't as good right now, I would say, versus, possibly last year's, and the prices are through the roof. Just I just couldn't believe LaMelo's cards were going for as much as they were. His silvers are going for like $1,100. Same thing with his like orange, and I think his green Prism was going for like $900, and his base is like $300. So, man, and those aren't even graded. You know what I mean? They're just straight out the pack as is, and we all know sometimes they get have a little issue here and there, and man, to drop that much money on a raw card, and hopefully the surface and everything is correct, and
that would. I couldn't even imagine, man. Like, but that's just not like the way I roll either. You know what I mean? Like, I could not justify just dropping that kind of money on a LaMelo Ball right now, especially because I know in the off season it's going to probably be like at least half the price of what it is right now. Because even if you look at his hoops rookie, right, it came out the gate, it was $175 to $200. Man, that thing's like $20-$30 on eBay right now.
Right.
Maybe even less if you can get a good deal. You know what I mean? Paul just found his Donruss rated rookie for $15 today.
So I'm probably going to scoop a few just to have a couple. You know what I mean? Especially at that price. It's at such a low price that even if it doesn't 10 and 9s or something, you know what I mean? I'm happy with that. Whatever return and it could be a stash piece if he is that type of player for say 5 years. I'll just stash him away and I don't have much money into it. You know what I mean? So I think we'll see. The raw market and the Prism market, I think it'll cool off a little bit more as time goes, because I mean, at those prices, I don't think they can withstand that long. I think a lot of people are just super hyped just to open some packs. I know a lot of people do breaks and different things. So they probably just wanted some product just to be able to rip and open up and everything like that. So I think the market for wax will continue to kind of simmer down a little bit, but I'm sure it'll still bring in that top dollar because Prism's where it's at. You know what I mean? It's the best one to get. Paul said he said he saw one ball base today for 300 Prism. Zion's base wasn't even that much when it came out. Yeah, it was like, I think it was like 100 something or $200 maybe, right around something like that.
Yeah, I have his PSA 9, and it's still not $300. So you know what I mean? Like, I
just sold my red, white, and blue for $275.
Nice.
It was a BGS 9. It went I
international. Mover, see what that's at now. Then.
Yeah, I sold my red, white, and blue. I want to pick up more 10s. I want to have a little more skin in the market. But
that's where I'm at too.
Going from 9s to 10s, a lot more risk, but a lot more reward. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I'm the guru of all gurus. We all make a bad buy here and there, but I'd rather have say even 80% good buys versus 20% the ones that just didn't exactly pan out as well as I thought. Maybe I'd rather get that huge chunky profit and make less buys versus having a card that's people want it, but it's not when you see a vendor or whatever, you're making a trade, they want 10s. You know what I mean? And I want stuff they want because I want to make bigger and better trades too.
Yep. Dude, looks like the PSA 9 Zion's currently sitting at 282.44 for like an average for the last few sales. It's not bad. I think I paid 180 for it whenever I first bought it, like last year or whatever.
Yeah, I had it up at like I think 3 something, and guy made me an offer. I think I countered 275, and he just took it. I was like, okay, fine. I'm happy with that. I still made money. You know what I mean? I think I paid right around what you paid, or maybe a little bit cheaper, maybe. But I want to move into something a little better, take a little bit of profits, move into something a little bit different, or maybe even just buy the same card but just a 10. You know what I mean? And have that piece of my collection where I'm like, okay, well, Zion turns into the guy I think he's going to be, which the Mavs coach Carlisle. He said that he reminds Zion's like a LeBron James, dribbling skills with a Shaq type of body and power. You know what I mean? So
that's awesome.
Whenever you have a coach that basically says it's almost impossible to guard a guy like that or deal with a guy like that, and he's shooting basically anywhere from say 65 to 80% a game because everything's close in or dunking. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to stop. You know what I mean? It's not like this guy's shooting fadeaway 3-pointers and he makes 40%. No, this guy's making close to 70, 80% of his shots a game. So he's putting up great numbers. He has a young team, which they might make a little bit of noise, in the playoffs, depending on, how everyone gets together and stuff like that. But I think the future is going to be bright, especially while Zion's on that rookie deal that they have, you know what I mean? So if they can get a little bit active in free agency and make a couple moves, possibly for next year, I think his cards have a lot more room to go, moving forward.
I mean, honestly, just him and Ingram continuing to get better. You know what I mean? Like that's like two potential superstars on one team. You know what I mean? Like, and imagine like one of the other guys that's there developing, or even them picking up a third piece to that puzzle. You know what I mean? Like, because I could very well see, as long as they can keep those two together long term, like just a disgusting amount of success.
Yeah, if I don't know why they signed Steven Adams to the contract that they did, but I think that hurt them, especially this year. Moving into trading and everything to that deadline, they just didn't have the money to make a better trade or whatever. Maybe get a Drummond type guy. I think he would be. I don't think he'd have been as good. Yeah, I don't think he was. I think they need more of a big that could shoot the three. This way gives Zion more space to operate down there. But, because he's basically like a paint monster. So if you're able to spread the floor out a little more, get a guy like that, that's really what they need. Somebody like Joker. If they had the Joker on that team, they would be literally like unstoppable.
That'd be nasty, man.
But I mean, like if you look at the league, I mean, the center position, the top 4 big men in the game is, I went blank for a second. Joker, Joel Embiid, Vucevic from the Bulls because he got traded, and who's the last guy I was thinking of? I can't remember the third guy I was talking about, but or the fourth guy I meant to say, but having those type of guys, those center position monsters down there, man. Like, you don't see as much, but you see like guys like Joel Embiid learning to shoot the three. Now he's shooting a little better than he was in the past, and now their team's having a little better success. So it definitely helps being able to do different facets of the game versus a guy like Steven Adams where he's just gonna be in the paint and not really give you much offense, but his defense is pretty decent for the most part.
Hey, defense wins championships.
I mean, we've seen it whenever Bam Adebayo blocked Jason Tatum's shot. That was huge. Yep. I mean, that was the game right there. And most of these teams don't have a big defender. like that, where they can literally take a guy one-on-one, and especially a talent like Jason Tatum, and literally block his shot with his pinky finger or whatever it was.
Yep.
I thought he was going to break his hand when the way he got slammed on like that.
Yeah, that thing was that was nasty.
It was crazy, man. But I mean, as we move closer and closer to the playoffs, I'm definitely keeping my eye on, what's going on with different teams and trying to stockpile, because now that PSA and these other companies are basically going to be log jammed for the most part, or start to get log jammed. I'm going to pick up different slabs and different players like that, and just be ready for the playoffs, because we all know what type of money that comes.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, but just like you were saying, man, like I was literally thinking about just consolidating down a lot of what I have investment wise, because I went very wide with a lot of my investments. You know what I mean? A lot of nines, a lot of base type stuff. You know what I mean? Like just across the board. So I think there actually may be a lot of like super like fire stuff that I normally wouldn't even bring to the auction available tomorrow. You know what I mean? Just trying to, like I said, maybe go after a couple like really big things now that the market's soft. You know what I mean? Because I would love to move into like, even like a Ja Morant auto right now. Like that would be awesome. Like Ja's one of my guys to begin with, right? Like he's one of my favorite players in the league. It wouldn't take much for me to be able to afford one of his autos. You know what I mean? Like literally, I could do it in like 4 or 5 slabs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ja Morant is a guy that I've seen his prices start to really tumble.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just their team just not really put together, or if it's him. But I was kind of shocked at seeing some of his prices kind of start tumbling.
Yep. Let me show you this one, man. I got sent an offer on eBay today for it. This thing is gorgeous. It's a PSA 9, but it's a Prism Auto. Just gorgeous. For it was like 700 something, I think. They were offering it for $795. I think it was originally $999 they were asking. I'll share my thing. But yeah, that really like got my gears like moving today. Like when I got this email from eBay, and then I started seeing like some of these other ones that are available. Like look at this at 9,510, $800. Like, dude, I could very easily move 3 or 4 slabs, and I'm right in that range. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I would very much like to have this card.
That card was probably $1,300 not that long ago. So if you're buying, on the dip, which is exactly when you want to buy, and if you like Ja, that is a heck of a pickup. That is a lot cheaper than what you would normally pay.
Yep. So yeah, I'm definitely thinking about moving off of a few things and just scooping one of those. And because it's not even like that's just the only one available. Like there's multiple out there like in that price range. You know what I mean? Like just something like that pre-graded, you know what I mean? Like that's something that's just going to continue to go up in value, because like Ja's a guy I believe in, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of invested in him anyway.
Right. We got MSC in the house. Appreciate you being here. We got Frank in the house. What up? Good to see you.
Yeah, Frank.
We got Dakota. What up? Sports Cards Anonymous. He says, what up? Glad to see you guys are still going. Yeah, we started a little later than we normally do. We might be changing our Saturday show to maybe possibly a Monday or Friday show or something like that. But a lot of people going on. We're always so busy with trying to go to shows and family stuff and everything else. So you might be seeing us switch up our time for our Saturday show moving forward.
This the breaks in the house.
What up? Greg says, anyone else think PSA's already graded cards will go up some due to the halt in their grading?
I sure hope so, because I have a ton there right now, and like I have a lot that I could potentially sell right now too.
I mean, the one thing with grading and cards and different things like that, like, the the population and things like that, especially for like PSA 10s and stuff like that. If it's somebody who would be a fantastic buy right now moving into the playoffs, you might see cards really spike a little more, which is great for somebody who already has the cards. But like Pittsburgh, he has tons of stuff just like I do at PSA. We're hoping to get it back for the playoffs. We might not get it back. So I think it could possibly definitely. There's a great possibility of prices going up a little bit more, maybe because of not anything else getting sent in. It'd be like basically a halt, and you'll see a lot more grading companies. But everyone likes PSA. I'd rather buy if you line up all three on a table, and even though the other ones are cheaper, I'd want a PSA for an investment piece just because I know that's what a lot of the people in the market want. You know what I mean? So that's just my thought on it.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna get top dollar regardless, like unless they blunder over the next whatever. Like that's what sucks about SGC is they have perfect opportunity to try to like step in there and try to be that like number 2 in the market. Like they finally had it all lined up and they're like, nope, stop sending.
What's up, Drew? So what up, fellas? Got some nice pickups at the show today. That's awesome, man.
What's up, dude? Thrift Beast in the house. Good to see you, Chris.
What up?
By the way, happy Easter, everybody. Tomorrow's Easter, for those of you guys that don't know. We'll say what's up. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
If the Easter Bunny doesn't bring you the cards you were looking for, you could always come out to our auction tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be awesome.
If you guys want to come hang out the auction with us, that's in the pinned comment right at the top. There'll be a link there. You can click on that and smash the reminder, or right before we're about to close, you can do that. And also in the bottom, in the description, you'll see Pittsburgh's link. If you're not already subscribed to him, why not? Why aren't you? Come hang out and check out his content. He drops a lot of different stuff every day, or almost every day.
Touche. Grunt Dad's in the house. What up, man? Good to see you. Appreciate
What up?
You. Greg says it's already Easter in Australia. Touche.
Tomorrow is Easter in Australia.
All right, Siri.
Siri says that as well.
Siri just called you out, Craig.
J-Dub said, what up? Looks like CSG prices still holding for now. I hope no more prices go, because literally, like, I'm already on teetering, not sending anything in anywhere. But, right now it seems like Beckett is the move. So hopefully, knock on wood, as we go offline and I try to put in a submission for a few cards with them, they don't just automatically spike the price or whatever.
I would be surprised if they did something like a Saturday evening or even on a Sunday. Like, I think if anything, they'd probably do it on Monday, but I could be wrong.
Also, I think SGC knew they were going to get flooded. They had to do something. I think they handled it wrong. I think they did too, man. Like, if they were getting cards back, like Pittsburgh had a few submissions through them, and he was getting back, 2 and 3 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're grading with PSA, you're used to waiting 6-7 months, unless they literally have no, they don't have like a huge vault like PSA and they couldn't hold the cards. I mean, they should have at least got backlogged a little bit before they just jumped the price like that. I totally don't understand that whole situation, unless they literally were scared they were going to get flooded and did it just to keep, be able to keep their thing like that. But they missed out on so much market share.
To put it into perspective, what happened with SGC in the 36 hours before they announced that they were doing the $75 price hike, just in the 36 hours that PSA had closed, their submissions had gone up by 500%. So that's like they were getting like it. If they were to get like 100%, that would be like they're getting double the amount of submissions. They're getting like literally 500 the amount, like 5 times the amount of submissions that they normally did. So it was like right off the bat within 36 hours, people were just like, yeah, SGC, let's go grade.
I mean, that was definitely thought of mine. I was ready to send in some stuff, or at least give some stuff to you to send in, since you already have an account and you send a bunch of stuff in all the time with them and stuff like that. And I was about to be on board, and literally you sent me that text like they're $75. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was just totally blown away, man. Like, I just didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Drew said he traded 9 Prism blasters for a Trey Hollow 9, a Trey Shock 9, 2 Kyler Prism 9s, and a Triple J Silver 9. Wow, that's
nice.
awesome, man.
That's quite the haul.
I definitely like Trey. Even though their team kind of, isn't doing what they hoped, especially with all the moves that they made, I still am a big Trey fan. I picked up a Select about a month ago, Select 9 for $100. For at that price, I don't think I can lose unless literally the card market turns into what's his face Vegas Dave was talking about, and literally I light my card on fire, which I'll never do that. But
speaking of that, did you see Sports Card Investor's video the other day on April Fool's Day?
Nah,
it was literally the most priceless video I've ever seen, man. Like cutting up on that whole ordeal with lighting cards on fire and everything like that. Hilarious.
Thirpy said he sent 2 cards to HGA for his birthday gift himself. Happy birthday, Thirpies.
Happy birthday, man. I didn't realize it was your birthday, but I did realize you got in because, literally, if you guys want to get into HGA, you basically just need to go hang out in Dakota's live stream because, everybody but me in there was basically getting in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, J-Dub. I just don't understand why they didn't, at least cash in. I mean, unless I just think they're shooting themselves in the foot doing that, man. I really do. They were better off just saying, they should have just, because what SGC has how many different brackets for their grading system? Do they have 2, or they just have the 1?
What's that? As far as tiers?
Yeah, do they just have 1 tier or 2 tiers?
As of right now, it's just flat. It's 1 tier.
See, they were better off doing
25, and then it was that's why, for the longest, I was barely sending to them because I was actually sending cheaper to PSA through you than I was to SGC because they're a flat rate regardless of what you're sending to them.
Definitely. Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know, man. He said it was wild. Everyone was getting in yesterday. I still want to send in something just to have a slab. You know what I mean? Just to get one in. But with everyone kind of flooding and this, I seen the site went down. It was a little crazy,
Wow, that's crazy. $35 group price. How many cards do you have to send to get it for $35? That to me is just insane because literally I can get that just sending a card to Beckett. You can get every card sent to Beckett for $35. You don't have to send I literally sent 1 card to them for $35 the other day. Didn't have to send anything else.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Especially with Prism coming out, man, so much money they could have made, man. Even if they had to, hire 1,000 people, they were gonna they literally was gonna be printing money. The second PSA shut down. If I was the president of SGC, I'd have been yes, and I'd have went literally trying to find people anywhere to learn, teach them how to grade cards. And literally do it, you know what I mean?
Dude, the crazy thing, what was just up on the screen there, I was going to say, man, Sports Cards Anonymous was just talking about that last night. And I realized it was him saying that. But yeah, he made some great points last night. If they were to take a star stock approach, it's $75 per card, but we'll let you in at the regular price for, Prism basketball, which everybody wants right now. And if they can monopolize the market, when you look at eBay and you're looking at Prism basketball slabs, it's just all SGC. That would be baller right now, man. So, exactly. If they were to do something like that, that'd be pretty brilliant. And then, a new set comes out, you know what I mean? Maybe the Prism goes up in price, maybe now it's $50 a card, but now, say Select's out, so that's $25 a card or whatever, you know what I mean? Something like that to entice people to start sending again, because honestly, I'd probably send some stuff. You know what I mean? If I can get back in at $25 a card.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like if they were able to give like group subs and stuff like that, like 25 a card, and then like even if you just sent independently for 35, that's not too bad. At least you're like in the like Beckett HGA type of range, and and your time turnaround times are better, so people would rather send to you. You know what I mean? Instead of waiting like Dakota said, like 9+ months or whatever to get a car back or whatever, like with economy or whatever. So like I totally don't understand. I want to say what's up to Cardboard Max. Appreciate you being here, my friend.
Yeah, definitely appreciate you being here, Max.
Gatesy Picker said that was funny, but it hurt. He didn't hurt. He burnt a car card.
Yeah, he burned the Derek Carr prism because I guess because that being like the famous or Vegas Dave card is the Derek Carr that he's invested like $1 million into, I think, like his prisms or whatever.
Something like that. Like he basically bought every like big time Derek Carr card and thought the market was just going to go nuts because it was a quarterback and yada yada yada, and he had AB for that 1 year or whatever, and that didn't turn out to be anything because I think he played one game maybe with Carr, but man, that I would not want to be holding on to a bunch of Derek Carr rookies or whatever right now, especially like the big dollar ones.
I'll tell you what they can do with Derek Carr. Trade that man to Pittsburgh. I'll take him to Pittsburgh.
You might see something like that happen, especially next year. You know what I mean? I doubt Ben will play another year. I doubt we'd probably want him to play unless he won a Super Bowl or something, which if he won, he'd probably retire anyway. So I don't know, man.
Is it bad that I was excited about the potential of Sam Darnold for like a 3rd round pick?
I mean, honestly, the year that Ben was hurt, not last year, but the year before, you know what I mean? It made us, made at least me appreciate him, even though he hasn't really done much lately, especially in the playoffs or whatever. Just having the opportunity to say, hey, we got a chance to win a Super Bowl or at least be a heck of a shot at the playoffs, and then, having Duck Hodges and the Mason Rudolphs of the world try to, get us in the playoffs, and then Juju fumbled and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, man.
Princess Poppy's in the chat.
Yeah. Granddad says, makes me wonder if PSA intentionally shut down just to manipulate the demand on BGS, SGC, and others, as they say, killing 2 birds, 1 stone. It possibly. I mean, also, if you think about it this way, if everyone's sending all these prisms to all these other different companies, the population for PSA of those cards are going to be naturally down because it's going to take a while to even get them graded and so on and so forth. So it might take some of the population down, which in turn maybe the PSA cards really, get a little more jump in price, especially off the bat, getting some back. You know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely.
Who knows? Paul said that coming from a guy with a Cavs jersey on. Who knows?
He's coming over to the dark side, Paul. Don't you worry. Yeah, I like Josh Allen a lot, man.
Yeah, I think I love the move that they did last year with Diggs. I thought Diggs was an AB type of guy. You know what I mean? Someone who can definitely eat up a bunch of targets. Fast guy. You know what I mean? Like I really like him a lot. And he was definitely one of my guys before the season started. We're playing fantasy football, and I was like, I kind of was like just talking, out loud as we're drafting because we did it live, and I was like, yeah, I really like Josh Allen, and Art Vandelay picked him up before I did, and that almost lost me the championship or whatever. But yeah, I really like him, man. I think they have a great team. A lot of their pieces are coming back, and basically I only think they can get better this year. I don't think they really lost anybody that like we did, in Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Like we lost a couple different guys that just from retirement. Pouncey, losing our center that we've had for years, even though he fumbled the first snap of the game in the playoffs. That was the one big blunder for him that we'll probably always remember. But it's going to be tough. But I really like Josh Allen. I think him and the Bills, moving forward are definitely going to be very competitive. They should be the top seed moving up. In that. And even though New England went crazy in the free agents and stuff like that, I still think they're the number one going into next year, for their division and everything like that.
I could see him winning a championship in his career.
Yeah, I mean, I think he finally, quarterbacks have to really, figure it out type thing, man. I really think they do, and I think he did. Hey, what up, Ryan? Appreciate checking out the channel and also becoming a member of the channel. Appreciate you. True says, I like Josh a lot. Couldn't find one graded card of his today. A lot of people looking for him. I have a couple of different. I have stuff coming back from PSA of him, which I should get back probably next month.
Dude, I can't wait to see that submission. That's going to be disgusting. It's going to be so nasty.
So much fire coming back. Luca's and everything, man. Like all my fire. So I'm hoping in the next month or so, I start to get some trickle effect. That's for sure. But I still have a different couple pieces here that I didn't send in. I have it's almost like this card. This is a Baker Mayfield. I have a Josh Allen. It's nice. The same card, basically just a Josh Allen in a patch. So I have some different stuff of his that I've stashed away. What up, Stash?
No pun intended.
You know,
got it stashed away.
But yeah, I mean, it just, I don't know why these companies are doing the things that they're doing, but we have to figure out the best solution. I think moving forward, BGS is definitely going to be somebody to reckon with. Them, HGA. As long as HGA doesn't raise prices, I think they'll be a good, solid choice moving forward.
Honestly, dude, like you said though, like I would rather have like the BGS slab. Like if it comes down to it, like I think long term the BGS slab has the most ability to hold the most value. Whereas like HGA, like it's new and it's cool, but they haven't exactly proven themselves in the industry yet. So like for the exact same price and the fact that you can submit basically, anything you want over to Beckett right now without limit. Now it is going to be significantly longer in getting those cards back, but being able to, get into them for significantly easier, because like I said, I've been trying to get in, even just to send 5 cards to HG. I've been trying to do that for over a month and I still can't get in.
Nice. Drew said he picked up a Giannis Hoops 10 for 600 trade value and a BGS 8.5, all 8.5 for all above subs for 700. What do you think of Giannis? I love Giannis, man.
I do too.
Their team, for the most part, I think they're one player away, from really becoming special. I mean, right now it's tough because the Nets are so loaded and everything else. But Giannis being the player that he is, he should be able to recruit some type of help. I mean, so they kind of got rid of some bloated contracts in the trade they made with with the Pelicans, and they got Drew Holiday. I really like him, defensive guard, can shoot. Can actually score and do some different things. Way better upgrade than Bledsoe. So Great. I like Giannis. I have his hoops. I have like the China version or whatever. It's like the green bordered one. It's like matched or whatever. It's a PSA 9. That's I mean, I've been looking for a select for the longest, and when the price was at its lowest, I missed out on an auction, and the price went right up.
Dakota just scooped one of those like a month ago, I believe. He was showing it off on stream last night, and I was like, "Oh my god, I want that card so bad." It was so slick.
Yeah, I think his 9, I think it's going for still around like 300. So if you got his 10 for 600, that's solid.
Yep.
So definitely good pickup.
Yep. China one's definitely hard to get.
Which one did you get? The China one too?
Yeah, I got we got the exact same one. Only yours has like a little bit better subgrades. Jerk.
Yeah.
But then again, you put me up on it, so I can't like really complain.
Yeah, I thought it.
Yeah, you paid $624.
The local card, that's a good deal, man. That I think I saw one for like, I think someone sent me an offer for $550 and I missed it because he had it on like a 2-hour window or something where he just, I guess, wanted to get it gone, and I missed it because I was at work, and then I went to go try and buy it at auction, and it just started going to the moon again. So you definitely got a good deal on that because.
Yeah.
Think about Giannis and there's only this Prism, which is Prism at that time is super hard to find because the print runs weren't super high. And then Selected being a hobby set, it's even lower. So, even at a base where a lot of the bases are really seeing price drops, you know what I mean? Like his is really a short print compared to like, the cards printed today, so.
Yeah, for sure.
Granddad says, what do y'all think of Deshaun Watson with all his lawsuits, allegations? Think he will play this year?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, Antonio Brown came back and played, so
touche.
Anything's possible. Especially in like today's world. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that with AB, I think it was 2 or 3 or something with him. Yeah, last time I heard it was 17 or something. Yeah. So, whenever you're that deep in cases and lawsuits and everything else, I mean, the NFL is definitely going to have to come at him in some type of way, even though it may not. I don't think it's criminal yet. I think it's just basically the lawsuits and stuff like that. So. They might make him sit for 8 games. I would think that would be the worst case scenario for him, I believe, unless like he literally becomes, imprisoned or locked up or found guilty of some type of criminal charge. Then maybe he would have to sit out for the year. But I honestly think he will be traded, especially with everything going on. I hope this is not happening, but I have a feeling that all this is just to get his trade value down because he wants to get out of Houston, and someone's probably doesn't want to pay that price what they want. So, it's almost like that type of situations. I just hope it's not, but it's the way it feels to me,
Yeah, definitely. Hey, see you, Simeon. Appreciate you hanging out with us, man. Happy Easter.
Greg says trying to submit to HGA is like trying to hit a bullseye with your hand behind your back and blindfolded.
Pretty much. It's frustrating, man. Like, it's so frustrating. Like, the other day I was doing it, and, like, it went down. I was like, screw it. I'm just going to focus on CSG. And still couldn't get in. I tried twice that day. And then yesterday it was like, man, I thought I was, like, in because, like, I was logged in, like, literally a half hour before, like, the queue was even to start. Like, before they even ask you to log in, I was logged in. I'm like, I got to be the early bird getting this worm, but apparently not.
What up, Simeon? Good to see you. Happy Easter, almost, right? Yeah, we're getting close. The bunny rabbit's gonna be bouncing around. My kids are happy for it.
You guys doing anything?
I gotta work with 5 in the morning, which is crazy, and they don't even view it as a holiday, so I'm not even getting holiday pay or anything like that. So, I'll be there till probably right before the auction, knowing me. But we'll make through. I told the wife to do the bunny thing without me, just record it and that type of thing, because there's no way they're gonna wait for opening their gifts and stuff like that. So
Dakota wants to know what you do for work, and Grunt Dad wants to know who you pissed off.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I have no idea. That's what's funny. I have, other than the the card auctions and stuff like that. And in our show the last couple of weeks, I haven't done too much of anything, especially YouTube wise. So, you get this type of people from time to time, and you just roll with it. They don't bother me. They can keep doing that. I'll keep blocking and timing out. That's cool.
It's probably just because we're very handsome and they're threatened by that. Most likely. That's what I tend to find.
They must like my Cavs jersey. Maybe, I don't know.
Paul says that he combs breads for $5 on the corner.
I work for a food distributor, and I work in a warehouse and stuff like that. Which
do they have bread?
Yeah, we do. We sell frozen loaves of bread. We do. We have those. But hopefully not this week, but next week, I'm hoping to move on to my new shift, which will give me a lot better hours. I'll be working 6 in the morning to like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. So I have weekends off, and then I have my evenings off. So I'll be able to watch more content and make more content, and just basically have a way better lifestyle, because right now I'm working 1 to 9s, Tuesday through Friday, and then Sundays I'm working 5 in the morning till 2, 3 in the afternoon sometimes. So
yes, DJ, go ahead and shoot the email over. Just let us know if it's going to me or Nate, and we will figure it out for you.
Yeah, if you look in the description, DJ, there's all my links. This way you can send it through Facebook or Instagram, Twitter. And then also there's an email there as well if you ever have any questions or want to get any group submissions, different things like that. I want to also drop our sports cards group on Facebook, which is free to join, of course. You can ask questions, jump into submissions, hopefully for a low price, and no one keeps raising prices, because we try to bring you guys, the low for group submissions and different things like that. And you can also see what's going on with us, ask questions, buy and sell cards. It's a really cool group to come hang out with us in.
Definitely. Man, feel free to ask us any questions in there. And if we don't see it, like if my phone's so weird with notifications, just tag me. Because normally if I'm tagged, I get the notification. Sometimes I don't get it though if I'm not tagged.
Yeah, for some reason Instagram's like the worst one for me. I don't get any dings or anything like that to know if I get anything, but everything else works good. Cardboard Max says, now at the price of to grade cards, do you see this as a pop control for low dollar cards? I think they want to get rid of a lot of the basically a lot of people were just sending anything in. They weren't even looking at the cards and not looking at corners or creases or anything like that. And, they're getting low grades and cards that honestly, after grading fees, even at $15 or $20, they probably weren't making too much money because of the low grades. And, especially now with base being, not getting nearly the love as it did before. Zion's base and his red, white, and blue were the same price all the way up until 3-4 months ago or something like that. Probably about 3 months now. So now look at the price difference. It's a couple $100, $100 difference or more, depending on the player and the card. I know Luka's red, white, and blue price and base price is like $200 difference, even just on the PSA 9. So it's kind of crazy.
Grunt Dad was asking if we're looking at any second string QBs with questionable injury prone starter in front of them like Haskins. I'm actually going to be picking up a little bit more Haskins just because, obviously the whole Steeler connection and everything like that. And yes and no. I mean, really, I basically just pick up anybody I find at a value. You know what I mean? Like most of the singles I pick up where I'm prospecting, most of that stuff I get out of bargain bins. I don't do too much scouring for prospecting on eBay, because most of the time I'm on eBay, I'm pretty much looking for slabs or autos or bigger things that I get that are considerably undersold. There's a lot of times I'll get a card off of eBay and I'll literally just relisted as soon as it comes in because I got it at like such a value that like I didn't even really want the card. It was just like, why is it selling for this low? But then it's like, oh yeah, it's like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. No one's up.
Right.
You know, so, I do try to take advantage of those type of flips as much as possible with eBay, but most of that stuff I pretty much just pull out of the bargain bins for 10 cents, 25 cents, $1, that type of stuff. Nice thing about that is I can check condition too before I buy it.
Honestly, like I want to definitely get into more than just basketball. I want to get into, I have some football, some baseball, but not as much as, nearly as much as basketball. But, kind of like what Pittsburgh was saying, like with some of these guys, like maybe even like, Jordan Love and, guys that possibly, potentially have a chance to become starters, even, I wouldn't say maybe possibly next season, or like you were saying, Granddad, like injury, and next here their prices go type thing that I tend to try and do is I'll try and pick up. Well, I guess this is before the price jump, but before all the pricing being as crazy it was, getting cards graded, I would usually pick up like the short prints raw for a couple bucks here, and just send in a grade. So basically, I might try and get some different slabs and try and pick up, those kind of guys. If I can get in super low, like if I can pick up a Haskins short print rookie prism for like 20-30 bucks or something like that, and it's in the middle of the night and I can score like that, I'll definitely do that, because honestly, it's a dice roll. But if at PSA 10 or value with him getting a couple games in or potentially starting, I'll be able to really have some top profits,
Mm-hmm. Stash was asking, now, if a card grades at 10, does it really matter who grades it? Only in the sense of resellability. If it's any of the big 2 or 3, no one's going to look at a 10 and be like, oh, that sucks because it's from Beckett, or it sucks because it's from like SGC. It's like still a respectable 10. But as far as like resellability, Beckett has the most expensive 10 because it's the hardest to get. PSA typically is known as the most valuable because Beckett typically gives out 9 5s as their gem mint. So the majority of the people coming away from Beckett end up with a 9-5 as opposed to the 10 that you get from PSA. So that's typically why PSA is kind of more valuable. But if you can end up getting a 10 from Beckett, that actually is more valuable than the PSA 10. So it does matter when it comes to resale purposes from like a collectability standpoint or just like a personal preference standpoint. It really doesn't matter. But like if you're wanting to get max dollar back, most people try to stick with PSA for that. But I mean, Beckett's just, in my opinion, like Beckett's every bit as good as PSA. Like as a company, I think they have better slabs, but the market is spoken. Like they will pay you more for a PSA 10 than they will for a BGS 9.5.
So David sent me a message on Facebook, and he said, recently sent 3 big cards for me to PSA, a Kobe's 96 EX 2000 that I thought was an 8, a LeBron Bowman Chrome that thought it was at least a 9. One was one of my better crispy cards, and a Tom Brady 2000 Bowman I thought was a 9. They gave me a 6 for the Kobe, a 7 for the Brady, and an 8 for LeBron. I mean, if I use magnifying glass with the LED light and have been buying PSA 9s and 10s for years, it was the $300 level of submission. I wouldn't have sent them in if they were going to grade it between a 6 and a 10. Jesus, 6 is at least a crease or a ding corner. Mine had none of that. A good surface. He asked if he got screwed, crack, and resubmit. Cost to do another $300, hoping to get a better grade. He says he's confused why he's getting that grade. Honestly, I mean, with those big cards like that, a lot of people, they'll crack and just, they'll resubmit them because, I mean, even 1 or 2 grades up from what you got on those cards is easily pays for that extra submission. I mean, it stinks having to pay that, but
yeah.
or you can go with a different company if you just,
Yeah, I was going to say if PSA like dinged you hard, send it to Beckett. You know what I mean? Like even if like they give you like an 8 or an 8.5, that's significantly better than the PSA 6. You know what I mean? Like so that and it's way less too. It's literally like one or was it 10% of the price of PSA right now to send to Beckett. So it's like I would probably send to Beckett.
Or I mean, for $75, you go to SGC. I mean, you know what I mean? That's a lot less money to cost wise, and you probably get it back in 2 weeks. And you know, if you could send me some pictures over Facebook, and I'll try and look at them and see
Yeah, I was gonna say that would
what I
be
think too.
good.
Because it might be just like a centering issue or something like that, where you're, you might not think it is bad, but it might be, a little worse or whatever. But I'll check it out. So Dakota asked Nate, when do we start buying guys to flip at the start of next season? Now, June or August? For basketball, I literally wait till basically the day after basically the NBA season over, which would be the last game of the finals. You'll see cards just start dropping off. But I mean, honestly, I'm always keeping my eyes open. Every night I log into eBay and I search and I literally type basketball cards and I just, run it down. Sometimes if I'm just like, okay, I want something, that's graded, I'll type basketball PSA and it'll show me all the auctions for all the basketball PSA cards that I have or whatever. Some might have PSA in the title or whatever because they want to get that searchability, just like, because of how I search into stuff like that. So I'm always looking, but you know what I mean? Like, usually for me, I notice a big drop as soon as the season's over because, everyone's switching off to the next sport. You know what I mean? So I usually start with that sport as soon as everyone switches. So it's almost like you want to work in reverse in a way.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's that way as well. But like this season's like it's an anomaly. You know what I mean? It's an absolute anomaly. Like right now, I mean, like the Prism stuff is super hot. Like as you've seen, like record sales on raw cards and stuff on this year's Prism set and whatnot. But for the most part, like all of the shows I've been to, whether it's Pennsylvania, Ohio, wherever, like everybody is super down on Modern. So it's like I've really been trying to pick up a ton of it right now because like no one's valuing it. Like, and if it has zero value now, like I can only imagine like when the off season comes, like, is it just going to lull or is it just going to be like fall off a cliff even more then?
Yeah, I don't think, I don't think it can, honestly. I mean, unless the grading companies literally like kill the graded card, the money we can make from it because just the market's not paying out as high as they once were. I mean, that could be the only thing I can think of that would really just like kill the market just in general for the most part. I mean, for especially stuff raw that's you need to get graded. You know what I mean? Like it's part of the reason why I almost went basically all graded. I'm looking at graded stuff right now versus stuff that is raw unless the price is just super right.
Yeah.
What up, Infamous Stacker? What up? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here.
He says he misses the.
Oh, good. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, Jimmy said that he misses the old morning show. I was going to say, you might see us in the morning at least one day a week moving forward. We're not entirely sure, but we're toying with perhaps moving this, like what we do here, to, Friday or even, Monday or something like that, just to figure out, maybe it's a little less traffic jammed.
Yeah. There's a lot of people with auctions, and I mean, honestly, it's Saturday night. Everyone's out, especially now that things are opening up across the board. You know what I mean? So you might see it at least once a week in the mornings.
Yep.
Granddad says for basketball, he's been picking up Norm Powell and Rashawn Holmes, trying to pick up potential 21, 22 breakout players. That's also a good point. Getting players that are possibly going to get a change of scenery or have a better role because of free agency That's another good strategy to look at. You know what I mean? Like, for example, just one guy that I know who definitely the free agent next year. Well, unless he signed a multi-year deal, which I don't think he did. Like Drummond, you know what I mean? Like he's a guy that could win a ring and go to another team or something like that. But I mean, I'm not saying he's one guy. I'm just making an example where he's on his last year of his deal and now he's moving forward. Victor Oladipo is another guy. He's down in Miami, has a chance to win a championship. Hopefully he is like a key piece because I have a PSA 10 of his in his hoops. And I just picked up a Prism, his Prism rookie for, I think, a couple, like $5 or $10, which, it's a low end investment and, send it off to Beckett or something like that and comes back and, possibly become a big dollar card, hopefully.
For sure.
But I agree with what he says. If CJ leaves, Norm Powell could possibly be Dame's sidekick. I like Norm Powell. I know Third Beast was a big fan. He was up in Toronto, and I do think there's some value there. That's for sure.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, Stash. I mean, all these other companies putting out the bigger name cards will definitely make it easier for them to sell like their stuff and have their slab values even go up because you figure, there's not going to be very much Prism or any of the big sets in PSA right now because they're not accepting anything. And I don't know anybody that's going to spend $300 on anything that's not going to at least be, at least $300 in a 9. You know what I mean? Like I'd be like scared to death getting less than a 9 and like losing my butt on that. You know what I mean? Like there's like no meat on the bone anymore. You know what I mean? Normally you can make good money getting 9s. You know what I mean? And then if you get a 10, it's like, holy heck, I got a home run on my hands here. But it's like now it's like you almost need to get 10s to make money. It's like kind of the way GMA was getting where like I'm really stringent trying to get as many 10s as possible because the 9s on most cards don't hold as much value. You know what I mean? So like with the astronomical price that PSA charges, like you have to get 10s, you know what I mean? And then some cards, like say you got a Ja Morant Hoops 9, you know what I mean? Or I mean a Ja Morant Hoops 10, PSA 10. Like that's not even worth $300. You know what I mean? Like
right.
That's like what we're looking at here. Like certain cards you send in, even in a PSA 10, are not worth $300 on the resale market.
Yeah, I mean, unless you have a LaMelo short print, like Prism, that would be like maybe the only thing I would possibly send for $300 to PSA to get graded, because I mean, that is the main rookie in the set, even though he's hurt. His raw card's selling for $1,100-$1,200. You know what I'm saying? So you send that out for $300, you're possibly getting maybe $2K right now because of the hype, and you'll get it back super fast with Super Express. Because let me check where they're at with Super Express. I don't know where they're at exactly because I haven't checked the last couple of days, but let me see where they're at with Super Express. I know it was only a couple days behind, like from when they receive it, basically. Okay, the Super Express, they're at March 21st, so they're only like 10 days off from, that start. So I would say probably a month, from the day you send it in till you get it back. So if you're able to, if you have the card now or able to get it in the next couple of days, and that's possibly something you want to do, I would do it now and then sell it and then buy another one, because we all know what these prices are going to do. They're going to start to have the trickle effect, just like his Donruss. His Donruss was what, $150 at one point just for a base Donruss LaMelo, and then now I seen Paul, I think, pick one up for like $15. I mean, it's just kind of the trickle down effect. The new stuff comes out, and the hype gets out, and people, not everyone is fighting over the only PSA 10 or whatever. So, it's just how it kind of goes,
Yeah. Awesome. Stash just became a member for you, Nate.
Oh, thanks, Stash. Appreciate you, man.
And Mama, excuse me, Mama was asking you to describe what that means, because there's a couple people that asked what the green meant.
So the green is the memberships, and it just helps support us, and we're going to start doing live streams at least once a month for our members and stuff like that. We're kind of, waiting to get a few people in and try to get different stuff. And also, you get cool emojis and different things like that on the channel. And I might also start doing where I drop my videos early for my members. So if I have, like, say, players to pick up or maybe sets and different things that, I like or whatever, I'd leave that to my members, like, at least 12 hours or so, or maybe 24 hours before I drop the videos. You get early access and maybe pick them up before the craze. And, you get a private, basically, live hangout with us and be able to ask questions and do different things like that. But, nothing we expect people to, we don't ask you guys to do that, but it does help the channel and we do appreciate it. So
Speaking of when you drop videos, did you schedule out your video for that new machine you got?
If depending on what we do with the morning show, or not morning show, but our possibly our Saturday show, probably Tuesday I'll drop it because I have it done. I just didn't drop it yet. I just been super busy with just life and everything like that. Yeah, we got 2 more kids in my household. We had somebody that was a cousin of my girls who got in trouble, so they needed some place to stay, so we took them in. So I have 5 kids running around in my house at all given times of the day. So if you guys hear stomping even more than before, that is why, and I apologize. But yeah, that's that's why. But we're dealing with it. We're rolling with the punches. They're 2 pretty good kids. They're getting along pretty good with the kids and all that type of stuff. So,
did you happen to see the movie Hotel Transylvania ever?
I've heard of it, but I've never watched it yet.
There's this character in the movie where, like, it's like a werewolf, but they have like 87 million kids, and like everywhere you go, it's like hordes of like little werewolves running around. It's like, I just imagine that like being like the cartoon version of you.
DJ said, Super Express Day is wrong. I had mine entered 3:30, done in 2 days, getting it Monday. Oh, okay. Well, that's even better. I'm surprised they have it so behind like that. Either that or they accidentally did yours early and you got pushed in. But that's awesome, man. That you're getting some stuff back faster than what the site says. That's for sure. Paul says, with the shutdown, what, if anything, would you hold until PSA takes submissions? I mean, honestly, like, if you're a PC guy or, like, you have stuff that's PC that, you want to keep, but, maybe one day down the road you want to sell type stuff that, you don't want to spend a ton of money for and you're not in a rush to get it back, that type of stuff. Or if you're grading, say, like, different stuff from some of the more iconic sets like 86 Fleer or like the 87 88 Fleer, or like stuff like that, or maybe some really cool inserts of different guys that have value but just not enough for super express or something like that. More or less that'd probably be kind of the stuff that. Or if you just love the PSA label and you just want to have that and you just want to wait and just don't want to pay the money, I mean, that's more or less the stuff that I'm would hold. Like, for example, like, I'm probably going to be looking at some of the LaMelo Donruses that, they're out right now, since Prism's getting so much love and everything else. And it's kind of the forgotten child right now. If I'm picking up $10-15, if I can get PSA 10s, even if I got to wait a year or 2 years or whatever the heck, it's going to take to get PSA to roll the bulks out, those, a couple years from now could be $1,000 cards, possibly, if LaMelo turns in anything, like possibly I think he could possibly be. I really like the kid. I think he's very special. I think he sees the game like, kind of like Magic Johnson, You know, he has that flash that about him. He's shooting the ball really well when he was not hurt and stuff like that. So more or less, that's kind of my thought. More or less,
Yeah, I mean, for me, like as far as what I would hold, I mean, really anything that you think you definitely want max value on moving forward. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But for me, like most of my stuff, I'm just gonna send to Beckett. Like my MPJ auto, like I would love to have that in a PSA 10 slab. You know what I mean? It's gonna suck having it in a 9.5. I mean, I'm hoping that I get it in a 9.5, but uh as far as like grading autos, like it's such a value with Beckett. Like really, they only have to pay $2 on top of whatever it is to get the dual auto on there. Because that's considerably more at PSA as well. And some other companies, charge you considerably more for autos as well. So I think Beckett's a great value right now, as long as they don't raise prices, which they very well might. Come Monday, like they could be the next wave. Like every single sports card channel that you watch, it's going to be like Beckett raises prices. Beckett raises prices. You know what I mean? Like it very well could happen. Like we don't know. That's why, like me personally, like I at least wanted to force something to them before their prices jump.
Let's see if I can pull this up. Here's those cards that DJ had. I really like that Kobe.
Nice.
That's a beautiful Kobe. Let me see if I can. Oops.
Is that the Bowman LeBron rookie there?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Let me get it back up here. Oh, hold on. I gotta save this so I can kind of zoom. Save. Oh, that's not gonna save it. Save image as. There we go. Open.
Yeah, I like LaMelo a lot too, Dakota. Like he's one of the guys. Like honestly, I've been PC and LaMelo since he was even like playing in like Lithuania and stuff. Which like, man, I really wish I would have held on to like some of the stuff I had, like some of the like the non like legitimate type Leaf cards and stuff I had of his, like which right now are like astronomically priced.
The back of the cards look really good. Let me see if I have another picture. I think he sent me another picture too. Where did it go? Let me see here.
Yeah, I like LaMelo though, man. I think he's gonna have a nice career. I really do.
My computer's like acting weird. There it goes. Save as. There you go. Okay. Share.
So the Kobe is a 6, the Brady is a 7, and LeBron's an 8. Okay. So can you zoom in on that Kobe? Like the corners have to be like rounded for it to be that low. Like, is there a crease even, or is that one of those where like he pops off of the card and sometimes that could get damaged too? Like, is there any damage on that arm right there? Like his gun
right here.
There and on the other side too. Like look at his other arm. Like,
okay. Yeah.
Like right there.
Yeah.
Like I'm wondering if that might be some wear, because I know sometimes cards like that, they'll give it like the die cut effect where they like ding the heck out of you on those type things as well.
I don't know if this is wear here.
Oh, that's what he's talking about, the specs.
He said no creases, and the middle of Kobe is acetate.
Yeah, I figured that much. But the actual Kobe though, that part's still cardboard, I think, because I'm almost positive I have not a Kobe like that, but I have somebody like that. Honestly, might even be a Cavalier. It might even be a Cavalier I have like that.
Now I know the Brady's a little OC, not horrible or anything, but I mean probably enough to get it down a point. off the bat or whatever the case is. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I would just, really make sure that surface is super clean. Put that thing in a brand new sleeve, the whole 9 yards. That's how I always grade. I just, basically put everything fresh, everything new, and, and send it off like that. So this way there's no chance of any type of residue or any type of, card dust was what I usually call it. And that could just stay on it as soon as he pulls out the card, you know what I'm saying? So, honestly, I mean, if it's clean, like that, I don't see anything that would make me think it's a 6. But I mean, I also don't, I don't have the card in front of me, so I can't, super see exactly what it is. But I mean, I would possibly crack those cases and try and do that again or whatever. So, but
I guess it would matter what the raw prices are too, though. You know what I mean? Because why run the risk of like resubbing it for $300? You know what I mean? Because even like say it comes back as a 7, you know what I mean? That's probably still not enough to like even cover the regrading of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I would really like look into like the comps and stuff on those, just because like unless you're gonna send it to like somewhere cheaper like Beckett where it's like $35. You know what I mean? If it doesn't come back better, I only lost another $35 as opposed to like another super express payment. Yeah, no problem. And anytime. So we're here for it. That's why we do the Saturday show, is just for that. Any questions you guys have or whatnot, we want to make ourselves available.
Because says Lamelo looks like the second coming to Magic. Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. Like, I really, really like him. I think he has a chance to be one of those top 10 guys, man.
Yep.
Lonzo has played better. He's putting some points on the board more than he ever did. He's shooting better. I think he finally got his shot down. So, Lonzo could be a pickup. He's going to be a guy that's going to be probably moving on to another team. There's a lot of talk of him going to the Knicks or somebody like that. The Knicks, if they would add him to what they already have, if they retain everybody or gain another big player, if they would lose somebody, I think they would have a great shot at doing a lot more. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But all right, guys, we're gonna start to close it out now. I definitely appreciate everyone that come and hanging out. Thank you for the 2 new members. I really appreciate it. We're definitely going to be having some type of live show this month for you guys because we want to bring you guys great content. We want to show our appreciation, and we appreciate what you helping out the channel and everything.
Absolutely.
But we'll be on tomorrow for our auction on Pittsburgh's channel. It is in the top pinned thing at the top of the description, and I'll drop it in the chat real quick before we jump out of here. 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. If you guys have any cards that you want us to bring to auction, if you want to drop it in the comments of this video or on the auction, we'll try and make sure we pull those cards and have them for you guys tomorrow. And anything you want to add before we close out?
No, I'll have more slabs, and I actually sold out of basically all of my non-PC slabs last week. So the slabs I'm bringing this week are really good because they're coming out of your boy's private collection. So it's going to be some really good stuff at the auction this week, guys. Really excited for you guys to join us.
Yeah.
Happy Easter, guys.
Happy Easter. Have fun with the family, but come see us at 4. I'll definitely have some slabs as well, and I'll probably maybe bust out some other bigger slabs. So if you guys are looking for some possible investor pieces and things like that, definitely going to be trying to bring some heat tomorrow. But there's a link right there. Make sure you click on it, hit the reminder, and we will see you guys later. Thank you so much. We will see you guys later. Peace.